Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's X39 presentation. I'm your host tonight. My name is Ken Burke, and I'm honored to be presenting this amazing patch and a presentation that goes with it tonight. Now, I'm coming from Trinity, Florida. If you don't know where that's at, that's in the Tampa Bay region of Florida, near the Clearwater Tarpon Springs area. And my lovely wife, Diane and I, we married 33 years. We've got 5 awesome children grown out the door, 4 married, 10 grandbabies, and we're so thankful to be wearing this patch. We've been wearing this patch for 2.5 years now, and it has definitely changed our lives. And you're going to hear more about that through this presentation I'm going to share with you tonight. And you're going to find yourself being one of 3 people tonight. 3, you're someone who likes what you see, but you want to do more research. Totally get that. Or maybe you're number 2, you like what you see and you want to get more patches for you and your family. Or maybe you're a number 1, you like what you see and you want to get some patches for you, your family, and you want to hit the go button on this rewarding program offered for those who share it, not sell it. Big difference. And I'll unpack that for you as well. And do thank the person who did invite you tonight. They cared enough to share this amazing patch of hope with you, and the opportunity also that goes with it. And so let me go ahead and screen share now this presentation. And by the way, this presentation is shown really worldwide. It's the same presentation slide deck that the team that we're part of shares to make it easy for people to help make a decision for themselves. So let me go ahead and share now. Excuse me for 1 minute. Excuse me again. All right. So the question is, have you been patched yet? And if you haven't, make sure you get back with the person so you can be, because it is the beginning of miracles for you. So, do you see the patch here on this woman? Looks like one of our daughters. You can wear it anywhere on the body because there's light throughout the body, and I'm going to explain that in a minute. But what's going to happen is when you put this patch on, it's going to elevate, activate, and regenerate your cells, particularly your stem cells. Now, we like to give credit where credit is due, and the founder of this patch, David Schmidt, we are so grateful for because of the lives that he's changed. And he just actually, as of this week, hit an accolade where he actually now has over 200 patents to his name. So we've got to update this slide. And but David, the story with David in this patch is 20 years ago, the Navy SEALs hired David to figure out a way to keep these gentlemen awake underneath the water in these specialized submarines for 18 to 36 hours. They didn't want to give them amphetamines. And so David, he has also a strong faith in God, and he prayed and he believed God gave him an insight to be able to create a 2-patch system that they could wear, leveraging the light off their body, and it would take advantage of their fat cells, create energy, and it worked. And that led to the Berkeley swim team finding out about this patch with Michael Phelps wearing this patch during the Olympics back in the day. And from then he got notoriety for this amazing 2-patch system. It was called an energy patch, and he started creating other patches. But then in 2008, he turned his attention to stem cells and anti-aging and age reversal. In over 10 years, 80 clinical trials, he finally figured this one patch out, this X39 patch, got it patented in 2020 during COVID, when all the world was shutting down. Well, light was breaking forth with this amazing patch. And the company was doing about $20 million a year after 15 years at that point with these other patches. But then this one patch hits the market and begins to launch the company. People with no advertising, because miracles were abounding. And people were calling their family and friends and telling them through COVID, you've got to get on this patch. And you'll see why in a little bit. And that took the company from 20 million then to just last year, 4.5 years in, to 650 million. And they're going to hit $1 billion this year. And it all based on just what's happening with this amazing patch. 90% of the sales of the company now come from this one patch. And so, and the team we're part of actually constitutes about 60% of those sales. And our team's only 31 months old, and we'll unpack that for you in a minute as well. So here's this amazing patent. And I love this thing because once again, this is a patented technology, patented until 2040. No one in the world has this technology, nor will they. And so we have zero competition, if you will. But so we have the cookie. But I like turning your attention to this paragraph inside the patent, and it talks about what's happened based on these 80 clinical trials and studies that got poured into this patent. And it says that it's going to elevate a copper peptide. And what it does is going to activate your stem cells. It's going to improve energy. It's going to elevate antioxidants, reduce inflammation, manage pain, improve stamina, elevate collagen production, and improve wound healing, just to name a few. I mean, have you ever heard of anything that could do just a portion of these things? So this is really fascinating. And really, it's not really the patch. It's your body, your brain that's controlling the healing and now being able to do what you're seeing here inside the patent. And we've seen this and so much more in the last 2.5 years. And that's why this company now is the fastest growing company in the world in this relational marketing space. Think of VXP Realty or Mary Kay or Beachbody, what have you. And that's what this company is. And that's how they bring the product to market. They don't use social media or Google. They reward people like you and me who care about our friends and family and getting the word out to them. They want to reward us for doing that. And so it's pretty amazing. And so let's go on. So here's the story of what's happening. The very first cell you and I were in the womb was a stem cell, and that morphed into every cell we now are, right? But you were giving, actually, by God's design, a reserve of stem cells throughout your brain, your bones, your organs, everywhere, your skin, throughout your whole body for healing, repair, restoration, rejuvenation. And so, and a stem cell can morph into any cell the brain tells it. That's the power of a stem cell. So when you're 8 years old and you break a bone, the brain says, oh, I'll send stem cells there, and they'll morph into any cell the brain tells it. Bone, marrow, tissue, joint, ligament, doesn't matter. And it could be something in your lung, it could be something in your brain. But when you're 80 years old, that doesn't happen. Why is that? Because by the time you're 30, half of the reserve of those stem cells throughout your whole body are now dormant. And the aging process sets in. Clinically, the less stem cell activity you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. Well, by the time you're 60, 90% of those stem cells are now inactive until now with the X39 patch, because now you have the ability to turn them back on naturally using light in the body. And so how is that, Ken? Well, what's happening is you and me, we all emit infrared light. We walk around all day long. We can't see it, but we're all walking around emitting infrared light. And so that infrared light has a mathematical frequency, and that light coming from inside my body, boom, is bouncing off this patch. And the patch is made up of microscopic crystals from organic, substrate of salt and sugar from organic plants that are arrayed in such a way that emit a frequency. So the frequency from the patch it connects with the frequency of the light inside the body, which is fascinating. And the brain says, oh, I'm now going to start turning on your dormant stem cells. In short, so what's happening is it's reflecting light to activate. So it's light therapy, no side effects. Under the FDA, we are determined as a wellness patch, which means there's no side effects. It's safe. And and you see we have a patent on here. So it doesn't matter what kind of medication somebody's on. There's no contraindication. So it's pretty amazing, except for when you're on chemotherapy, not radiation, but chemotherapy, and also organ transplants. And why chemotherapy? Because chemotherapy is looking for the most active cells, cancer cells, to go after and kill them. And if you start turning on your dormant stem cells, well, guess what? They're going to get active too. So you don't want that happening with both of them. But we do know people who will put the patch on in between their chemo treatments. And so, which is pretty amazing. But otherwise, doesn't matter what kind of medication on, high blood pressure, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can put the patch on, it's completely safe. And so this is non-transdermal, and nothing is going into the body whatsoever. This is not like a nicotine patch. So nothing, there's no stem cells in the patch. The stem cells are in your body and they're dormant and they're being turned back on. So there's no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants. It's not invasive. And once again, the patch is not doing the healing. We don't claim to treat, cure, ail any kind of ailments. You can talk to your doctor about that. We're just so excited to see the testimonies from our family and friends of what this is doing for them that we just don't want to, we can't be quiet about it, but you can talk to your doctor about officially treatments. So some of the things you can expect based on the clinical trials and what we've seen is increased strength. If you like to lift weights, you're going to basically PR your back squat, your bench press, all within probably a couple weeks. Reduce inflammation. Anything the word itis behind it, inflammation is behind it, excuse me. And increase stamina, energy, vitality, mental clarity. This for me, I remember I had an 18-man advertising company under a lot of stress for over 10 years. And it was very difficult because I couldn't find good sales reps. So even though I built the backside of the business and employed everybody, I had to get on the front side of the business to continue to make sales. And it was a lot of stress because if we weren't making sales, they weren't getting paid. So for 10 years, I lived under that stress. Well, that stress went from about 85% down to about 15% and never came back. And so now I have just moderate stress. And I got this gift I didn't even know existed called living in the present. And so it was spectacular. So just restored musculoskeletal condition as another line item here. I had one of my advertising clients, Parkwood Dental down in Bradenton, Florida. They called me up and said, Ken, you're not going to believe this. We had a patient come in. We couldn't put a post in their jaw because it was too brittle, but they came back 8 weeks later and we could. And the only thing they did differently was they put the patch on. So once again, stem cells are being sent through the body to bring healing, repair, and restoration. And isn't that fascinating? Improvement in sleep. Are you looking to sleep better? When's the last time you had a great night rest? Well, get ready because the probability is many of us, you're going to receive the benefit that we get is of sleeping way better. And I love it. And also with that, you're going to dream way more vividly. So, but I love the fact that I can go to sleep and sometimes I still get up a couple times a night and go right back to sleep, wake up in the morning and just feel good. It's a complete blessing. Improved skin appearance. That's amazing. My wife used to have more wrinkles here and now she doesn't. And so in 90 days, the collagen in your body is going to refresh. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And that's the largest protein in your body. So your skin, hair, nails is going to become more supple, less wrinkled. Your nails grow faster. Your hair's going to grow thicker. I used to have a gray splotch of hair here and I don't. My eyebrows used to be gray. Now they're not. It's really fascinating. So some of the things you can expect. Here is one of the trials done on a 77-year-old woman. On the left, her brain is inflamed. That means she's got lack of brain coherence, memory, brain fog, and boom, within 3 weeks, her brain is calmed down to a normal state. And 3 weeks after that, it's sustained. We were listening to a neuropsychologist recently talk about this slide here, and he said it takes them months, if ever, to be able to help work on someone to get their brain to calm down. And they was completely fascinated that this patch took this woman down in just 3 weeks. And this is what I experienced, and many of us do. I call this thing a happy patch. Put it on from teenagers to people going through terrible divorces to trauma to just PTSD. It's amazing what this patch can do to bring hope for people. In the first few days, also your genes, you're made of about 18,000 more genes that make up your height and your eye color. Well, 4,000 are going to reset to a younger state. Resveratrol in red wine a few years ago, I got notoriety because it reset 2 genes. This is resetting 4,000. And which is fascinating. Within 6 weeks, as I mentioned, your brain's going to become balanced. Within 3 months, the collagen is going to be increased. And collagen, you have more collagen in your bones than you do calcium. Within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. They had a study done with 15 people, and 14 of them, their cardiovascular system reversed in age by about 8 years and 6 months. And that means about every 6 to 8 weeks, your cardiovascular is getting younger to the tune of about 2 years, depending on your age. I had a friend of mine who had a stretched aorta. They discovered because he got hit by a car, he was okay, but they did a full body scan. And they said, okay, Mitch, we just discovered you have a 35% stretched aorta. We're going to have to give you bypass surgery, come back in 12 weeks. In the meantime, start wearing the patch, comes back 12 weeks later. And that was down to now less than 5%, did not need the surgery. We've seen many, 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 many benefits. Thickened heart, no longer thickened heart from another woman I met. Just so many benefits with the heart. It's just fascinating. Now, here's how you wear the patch. You're going to wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And you can see here, they tested it in 2 different areas of the body, in the back of the neck and below the belly button, in order to get the patent at 2 independent times. But it can be worn anywhere in the body because there is light throughout the entire body. So you put it on for 12 hours, take it off, throw it away. Put it next to your toothbrush in the morning, put it on. After dinner, take it off, throw it away. Or set a timer on your watch for 12 hours, 9 to 9, or however you like to do it. and keep it simple. Now, if you forget the patch is on, no harm, no foul. There's no side effects from light therapy. Just pick it back up again the next day and just stay on your way. And the key is, though, you do want to drink plenty of water, and particularly with electrolytes in it. And a great electrolyte is Celtic salt or pink Himalayan sea salt. Just put a quarter teaspoon in a half a gallon, so you're really not going to taste it, but it will give you all the electrolytes you need and trace minerals. The body runs on electricity, and that's where the word electrolyte comes from. And so it's important not just drink water, because if you drink too much water and don't put electrolytes in, you can actually flush electrolytes and be counterproductive. So it's important that you drink water, because it's going to optimize the restorative state of what this patch is doing to bring healing and repair to you. So you can see this is a very simple technology. It's a sticker. It's hard to believe. It is just hard to believe that something like this can change lives. And when our dear friend Joyce Johnson, 2.5 years ago, called me up and shared with me this patch, she had been in a car wreck back in 2019, twice got rear-ended, and not her fault, and they had put 4 titanium discs in her neck. And I remember all the pain that Joyce went through, and she had throat swelling issues and what have you. And I remember her calling up and say, "Hey, I found something. All my pain is gone. My hair's going back thicker." And my sister with her bone-on-bone knee pain and her migraines from it, or her knee pain's gone, her migraines are gone, all from this patch. I said, "Hey, that sounds pretty amazing. Send me some info on it." And she did. She sent me this site here. This is at info.com. I took a look at it. I said, "This is fascinating." I said, "This is light therapy that I have dormant stem cells." I didn't even know I had dormant stem cells. I used to work in the pharmaceutical industry and never had a doctor tell me, and my doctor never told me I had stem cells or dormant stem cells. I only heard about stem cells through people getting injected or whatever. So when she told me that we had them, we can turn back on with this patch, and this would do it for her, I thought everybody could use this, because everybody has stem cells and they're all going dormant. So, and I was very busy at the time, also running my advertising company. And but this website here, this is info.com, gave me the research I needed to be able to take a look. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm in. What's the biggest batch of these patches I can get? Because I'm going to mail them out to my family and friends and just tell them to stick them on them and tell me what happens. And that's what we did. And my daughter had given birth to Kendall May 8 months earlier. But after that, Brittany, there was her third child that had brain fog, postpartum hair loss, just emotional stuff. And the first day on the patch, she called us up. She was in Louisiana, and says, "Dad, you're not gonna believe it." So what's up? I said, my brain fog's gone. My energy's up, and I just cleaned all the drawers out in the girls' room and made room in the closet too. And I've been dreading that for a long time, and I just knocked it out, and I got more energy. I said, "That's amazing, Brittany, because your mom and I have been wearing this for about a week. We still don't feel anything yet." And then her husband called up, and talked about it. And he teaches in the Coast Guard. He's a real go-getter. And talked about how he taught all 8 hours at the Coast Guard. He called me up. It's 9:30 at night. "Hey, Mr. Burke, what's up? I just taught 8 hours at the Coast Guard, and I was focused. Usually I'm back on my phone. Then I went and mowed 4 yards afterwards, my riding mower. And usually I had back pain, neck pain, and hip pain thereafter. I had no pain. And then I sat down with the girls at 7:30. I was focused." And I was like, "Really?" Says, "Yeah." I said, "That's amazing, Stephen." And so it was just amazing to see what was happening. Well, my wife, she was having 10 to 20 hot flashes a day while wearing the patch. But day 21 was September 9th, and they pretty much came to almost a complete stop. And that was a miracle, because she also had this thing called menopausal anxiety. And we didn't know that's what it was at the time, but that cleared that too. And which was actually spectacular. I mean, my wife kind of got her life back, and so did I. And also she had hip pain for years from giving birth to 5 children. She talked about, "Oh, honey, I'm not, at night or what have you." And I remember months later, I said, "Hey, whatever happened to the hip pain?" She says, "I don't have that anymore." And then to see how her hair is, how much longer her hair is now, it's like when she was a teenager again, which is really amazing. And so it's been a blessing. And my dad, which blew my mind, my dad at the time was 280 pounds, never took care of himself, 1 kidney on 12 medications. Then COVID comes along and he gets COVID. His lungs get scarred. So he never needed a walker before, but now he needs a walker because his energy level is just down, down, down. And can't walk 20 feet with his walker. And I said, "Dad, put this patch on. It may help you with your tingly legs, your neuropathy in your legs." It helped a friend of mine 1 week with hers, maybe help with yours. And so he puts the patch on. 2 weeks in, I don't feel anything. 3 weeks in, I don't feel anything. 5 weeks in, Ken, I'm a believer. I can breathe again. buy me a plane ticket, go see Brittany in Louisiana, and I want to go see the great grandbabies. I'm like, I'm not buying you anything. I thought I was delirious because I'm like, you can't walk 20 feet with your walker. Click, and 6 weeks later, he's in an Uber to Tampa International Airport, spends a week out to go see Brittany and the great grandbabies, his lungs restored. That completely blew my mind. I was literally over the moon telling people, you're not going to believe this. And so, and the reality is, the reason why this company doesn't use social media or advertise on TV, because who would believe it? Right? It sounds too good to be true. You need trust and integrity, and it takes word of mouth to really one friend telling another, hey, you need to get on this path. You need to check this out. And the cool thing about this site here is that what once wants to know more about it, you and I don't have to be an expert to go share all about it. We can simply just say, hey, give me your phone. I'm going to text you a link and it will tell you all about it. And then let's follow up and take a better look. And so that's what we do here. And so in transitioning now in this presentation, I do want to talk about how much the patches are. I'm going to get to that in a minute. And then how the company financially rewards those who share it. And, and when it comes to, because, and disclaimer, this opportunity, we didn't see this coming, but within 22 months, it retired us. And, when my friend called me back, when Joyce called me and told me about the patch, she also made mention that Steve and Gina Merritt, who I remembered from 15 years early in this Monavie juice business, how they had helped a lot of people make a lot of money in that, and they were really good at it. And they were now coming over to this opportunity, and they came aboard, and in 23 days, they hit the highest rank in this business. And they were going to implement a system for other people to follow, so it could maybe help them do it too. And what Joyce didn't know at the time with my advertising company, that before COVID, I could have sold it and possibly retired. Now, during COVID, the industry changed, and now we couldn't get that same price. And I was feeling the pressure of what my future is now going to look like now that I lost just 10 years of my life trying to build something that I could retire from, and now to try to do it again. A lot of pressure. So when I heard about Steve and Gina Merritt hitting the highest rank, that normally in 23 days, that normally took 4 years to do, and they're going to implement a system we could follow, I already believed in what this patch could do when she was talking about it without even wearing it. I'm like, okay, just what's the chance that we might be able to get access to some of this too? Now, I was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I didn't have time for a side hustle. It would have never got my attention on having to work something else ever. But you know what? I believe this. And belief will make room for itself. Once you believe something, you're going to want to talk about it. And the beautiful thing about this opportunity and the team that I'm going to talk to you about in a minute, and the system we use that Steve and Gina Merritt implemented, and part of it is sharing this is an info site when people want to learn more, is that you can keep the most important things first in your life: God, family, your work, and then this opportunity. And that's what we did. And because of the system, we didn't have to work a side hustle. We just made it easy to contact and invite and share with people what this was, maybe share a patch with them, and then point them to Zooms like this. And so let the Zooms do the heavy lifting so that I can stay busy running my advertising company during the day and then point people to Zooms at night. And that's what we did. But I patched people here and there too, and it was amazing to see what happened out of that. But out of that continued to grow. And the company doesn't pay social media or Google. They take 60% of their revenue. Remember, they're going to hit $1 billion this year, and that comes back to reward those who are sharing this. Remember, I'm not taking this product, and we're going to talk in a minute here, and selling it out of the back of my car to people and taking money. I'm pointing them to Zooms. If they're interested, I can help them place an order online, and that ships to their door, and we get a piece of that. And then they get excited. They do the same thing. Well, you continue to get a piece of that because the computer tracks all those sales. So what it does is it buys time. And I remember my wife and I were 90 days in on this, and we went on a cruise. For 2 weeks, we were gone. Hawaii down to Bora Bora. We were in the middle of Nowhereville in the world, away from civilization. But at that point, we had enrolled a lot of people to be able to get on the patches, and they started sharing it. And I remember we came back $2,500 richer from the cruise. I'm like, hold on a second. I did not put my foot on the gas to go make that money. And I got the most precious gift at that moment in my mind. The light bulb went on, called time. See, I wasn't punching a time clock, selling an ad, or doing anything. I was on the beach of Bora Bora making money. And I thought I came back excited, telling my kids, our grown kids, you guys are super busy. You don't really have time for a side hustle, but we need to share these paths with people because we need to bring the hope to them of what this can do for them. But the company wants to reward you for doing that too. So let's get in on this, And so that's kind of the simplicity of how this thing works. So moving forward here, and if you're going to partner with a company, you want to partner with a company that's going somewhere. Well, this is a fast growing company in the space in the world. 561 companies in the world. No company actually has grown linearly, I can't even pronounce that word. Someone's do it for me. But like a line out of COVID, during COVID and out of COVID. We're the only company actually historically have done that. And so it's pretty fascinating in this industry. And so because of really what's happening with not a sales force. And what's really awesome is here we have Steve and Gina Merritt on the left. They're with the founder and the president, Meredith Burke is also. And what you're seeing here is back in August of 2023, Steve and Gina Merritt were only 12 months old, I think, at the time in the business, maybe 13 months old. But their team and the system they were using was growing so fast, the company had never seen this before. We were breaking all kinds of records. Matter of fact, Japan was leading the way of global sales. But now, thanks to Steve and Gina Merritt, the United States took that back. But here we were, 1,700 people got together in the sweating, hot, tent like apparatus for 2 days out in Tampa because we're so excited about what we were seeing with this patch, so excited about how fast we were growing. And so the founder of the company and Meredith Burke said, we're coming down to see this too, because this is really like a phenomenon. And that's what this team is now. This team that we have that they started was just Steve and Gina Merritt, with just two of them 31 months ago, 32 months ago. Now is several 100,000 people strong. We should hit 1 million people by year end. It's the fast growing team in the world. And all because we follow a really simple system of sharing one patch. And which is very important because the company makes other patches and the other entities, the other distributors around the world, they'll talk about multiple patches. And that's what Japan was doing, but they really weren't going. We talked about one patch, because this is the only patch that can turn on your dormant stem cells and lead, and that replicates. So it's easy to share one patch with somebody, but you start talking about 2, 3, or 4, you're going to confuse them. And those 2, 3, or 4 anyways aren't going to do what this one does. Nothing turns on your dormant stem cells. So we have this cookie, and it makes it easy for the next person to call their family and friends up and say, you've got to get on this patch too. So, this opportunity, once again, within 22 months, we're making 4 times. Now, everybody's different. You ain't saying this is going to happen for you, but we're making 4 times what we were paying ourselves running our own company. And at that point, it put us in a position where we now could basically put our company up for sale and then live with a new day to be able to go help people hear more about this patch. Technically, this retired us, and we don't really have to do any more work, and we'll make more money. But why do we get on this? Because you realize in life, once you're making money, that there's more to life than money. And what's more, the more in life is about how you can help people. There's nothing more rewarding for us to see what may happen for you on this opportunity with what this patch can do for the hope it can bring you, because there's nothing on the planet that can do what this can do. And so it's spectacular. And on a business base, we have no competition. The only competition we have is people just don't believe it can work. Well, that's okay. If you believe it, just keep on sharing. You'll find the people who are looking. So, and if you're looking for an opportunity, if you're saying, Ken, inflation really has kicked my butt, and like it has hurt my children and their young families, and now I have to work even harder to buy the same things, plus you've got to save for retirement and all this. What happens if you could have an extra boost without having to change your daytime thing? God, family, work, and then this, and follow a system. And if it could bring you more, which on this page here would mean something for you? What word stands out more to you? Because there's a possibility, there's no guarantees, but with partner with us, we could help you achieve this. Now, me and my wife, thank God, we've checked off every box on this thing. We are debt-free. We definitely live with better health. We have financial blessings. We travel a lot now. And we can build this business anywhere in the world. It's really spectacular when we're in Europe, because it's in 80 countries. So we're in Italy, we're in Croatia, Greece, we'll be in Portugal in 2 months, and then we'll be in Ireland, and guess what we're going to be doing on the plane, in the restaurants, with the tour guides. We're going to be sharing the patch because we want to bring hope to people, and also we want to partner with them on building this business over there. It's spectacular. Plus, it's all a write-off. I mean, think about it. It's spectacular. And here's how it all starts. It's so amazing. Me as a businessman, I love simplicity because that's how you prosper. And it all starts with you. You get some patches, and then you get two family or friends on your left and two family and friends on your right, because this is called a binary system. It's not a pyramid. Pyramids are illegal, but this is a binary, which means on a computer, people go technically below you. The people below you can actually make more money than you. I have three people who make more money than we do, and we're at 7 figures, which is crazy. And so, and I still think about that. I'm like, okay, I did not see this coming. And I think about that for you, because I can't promise you what you can make, but I can promise you this opportunity is amazing. Our team is amazing. The system is amazing. And so it's already been built and cooked and ready for you. You just have to basically plug in and begin to share. And if you get two friends on your left and two friends on your right to buy patches, and I'll share what more that looks like in a minute. Well, you're going to hit this first position called manager. That opens you up to making up to almost $1,500 a week. That's the cap. You're not going to make $1,500 then, but what's going to happen is the two on the left and two on the right, once they start wearing the pass, they get excited. They see more. What's going to happen? Well, some of them are going to want to get their two on the left and two on the right for themselves. And you start doing that on both sides. Well, that means you have more people getting their 4 people. Well, that means your team's going to be getting bigger. And as your team gets bigger, your team commission gets bigger. And that team commission can go all the way up to $25,000 a week. That's the cap. There are people who do that, right? And so what's really amazing is there's an unlimited income potential, which is here, that goes beyond that. And my wife and I have been blessed. We make more than the $25,000 a week now, and much in part to this. We haven't even hit the $25,000. We talk about that later on that one piece, because this right here is unlimited. And what this is here is if you enroll a friend, that's your first generation. That friend enrolls somebody, that's your second generation. That second generation person enrolls somebody, that's your third generation. And the company's going to pay you 25%, 20%, 20% respectively on whatever volume they're doing out of that team commission. So if they're all theoretically making $1,000 a week, well, you're going to get 25%, $250 on the of a bonus on top, for that first position person that you signed up, and then 20%, which is $200 on that second position person that someone else, that your friend signed up. You didn't even sign them up. It's still your second generation. That second generation they signed up, you make 20% on them. That's another $200. So blue sky, just think if they are making 25 grand, then that's $6,250, $5,000, $5,000. Well, we have a couple people on our team that hit that 25, and we get a piece of that, and it is crazy. And that's what you want too. But what that really means is if people are making money in this opportunity, that means a ton of miracles are taking place. Because the money is really a reward for the magnitude of the amount of patches that are going out there and the miracles that are taking place and the momentum that's being generated out of that. And so that's really the real power. The real power isn't so much in the money. The real power is in the blessings that are occurring from people wearing this amazing patch of hope. And the miracle of getting time bar for you. Just think if you start making $200 a week. That's like being at work, and then someone they come and they put a $100 bill on your desk. Like, oh, that's kind of what it feels like. And then boom, then a couple days later, someone puts another $100 bill on your desk. Well, that's kind of nice. And so because every Tuesday we get paid. And so if there's any activity, you get paid on a Tuesday. And remember, you're still busy working. Like I was busy on the cruise, but yet the word of mouth that was spreading on the teams, people being excited, growing to people you don't even know who it is. They're calling their family, they're calling their friends, purchases are being made, but you're getting a piece of all that. It is an absolute gift. So it all starts here. It all starts with you make a purchase. All right. And so what this envelope here is a 30-day supply of patches. And inside this envelope is this sleeve. And the sleeve itself actually has 30 patches in it. That's a 1-month supply for one person. The retail rate on this is $149. But there's no need to pay $149 because you can get this at a wholesale rate of $99 or less. And that's what we did with my dad, my mother-in-law, and other friends said, listen, whether you're going to sell it or not, you don't have to worry about selling it or sharing it. You can just get it at a wholesale rate. And so you could come in for just 25 bucks and get a position and get it at a wholesale rate. But what you really want to do, if you've been thinking about, if you're seeing is, and what we did is we bought, there's 3 packs you're going to see here. You're going to see a Cora 3-pack, a 6-pack, and a 20-pack. Okay. We bought the 20-pack. Why did we do that? A, because I couldn't buy anything bigger, and you can't buy it again. It's one and done, doesn't happen again. And so why did I do that? Because I believe in the law of abundance. And I knew that I want to get these patches on my family and friends as quickly as possible because I wanted to see what kind of miracles were going to happen. And we were getting miracles back to us before my wife and I had our own. And that was spectacular. So my family and friends did not have to wait for my miracle, for me to believe it, until it did something for me in order for them to get the miracle for them. Because I already believe, based on what was happening, something was going to happen. I just didn't know. And so when I called them, I said, listen, I don't know what's going to happen for you, but I'm going to mail you a few patches, put them on, tell you what happens. And that's what we did. And that got the prime the pump before we even had our own testimony. And so it was awesome. And so and having 20, by the way, also, they encourage you to wear this 1 month for every 10 years of life. So I needed to make sure that I had enough for me and my wife, and I wanted some to share. Also, I wanted to basically place and replace these patches in envelopes, basically, with people who are enrolling. And so, because if I enroll somebody and to get patches, well, they're gonna have to wait 3 to 5 days to get their patches. I'm like, hey, no. I'm gonna go back out of the car. I'm gonna front you one of these now. You can start wearing these tonight. And then when you get yours in the mail, just replace my whole sleeve back to me and keep the one in front of you. And so it's called place and replace. And I wanted to have extra to do that because we had a precious couple at church a few months back. They signed up on a 20-pack. I went to my car, fronted them one, and said, you can go ahead and put this on you now, and then give it that back to me in a whole one next week I see you at church. Well, the next morning they called us and said, Ken, we haven't slept through the night in years. I can't believe how good we slept. 2 days later, Joe's called me. I've seen 4 chiropractors in 10 years, and none of them helped me feel this good. And they were excited. They're already on the phone, calling their family and friends, telling them about the patch, and they still had not had theirs in the mail yet. And so, but because I was able to have extras myself to front them, then that got them in play. And so I wanted to get this thing going quickly, and that's what we did. Now, if $1,700 and plus shipping tax is too much for somebody, then you can buy a 6-pack, one for you, one for your spouse. And now you got 4 to share. And so now if you buy the 3-pack, that's just basically a 90-day supply from one person. You can do that and no harm, no foul. You're limited to $100 a week in the opportunity, where the 6 and 20-pack give you the ability to hit the go button on the comp plan. And also, by the way, this whole business is built on a 2-sleeve monthly subscription. So once you purchase any of these packs and you want to build the business, then you're simply going to go on a 2-sleeve monthly subscription. So for my wife and I to make over $1 million a year right now, this opportunity, my overhead is one for me and one for her. That is crazy. You know how much work we had to do with 18 employees and all the overhead we have in other businesses that have brick and mortar and franchise fees and all this stuff. And all I got to do is buy 2 of these a month. I'm going to do that, period. So for me and my wife, because that's our supply, but that's the only requirement. And so you buy a 6 or 20-pack, get on a 2-seat monthly subscription, and you're good. That 2-seat monthly subscription for $199 doesn't start till next month. And oh, by the way, when you buy the premium pack, they give you the ability to push your 2-sleeve monthly subscription requirement out 90 days. So next month, there's no need. You don't have to worry about, placing an order. The following month, no order. You can start that 90 days out. And so it's pretty profound if you start thinking about what we're talking about, about having product on hand to change lives, to get things started, and to get people excited to go get your first 4 people. And now, if you're on a 1-sleeve monthly subscription, what this will do is this will hold the volume that's happening underneath you. You may not understand this right now, but what happens is when you have two legs, well, you're put on somebody's leg. And guess what? That team basically. Well, anybody in that team, the next time they put somebody on that same team leg, by default, has to go below you. It has to go to the bottom. And you get credit for that. And so there's people above you putting people below you. You don't know who they are, but you're getting credit for that. And as long as you're on a one-sleep monthly subscription, that volume is going to hold for you. Otherwise, it flushes. That volume turns into money once you're ready, once you upgrade to a 2-sleep monthly subscription. But if you're kicking the tires and you just get a 3-pack and go on a 1-sleep monthly subscription, well, at least it gives you the ability that when you're ready to run, you've got this volume built underneath you where now you can. So, bear with me 1 second.
Learn something new to see how Kay handled that. You said confidence.
Okay, thank you for that. So, hopefully you can see the simplicity of what this opportunity can do for you and where you at, with what you want to do. And are you thinking about people you love and you care about in your life right now? All of them have stem cells. They're all going dormant. And there's nothing on the planet that can turn them back on. And we have the cookie. You have the cookie. You have the patch of hope that could change their lives. Think of family. You got any family members with Parkinson's, dementia? How about autism? We have 10 grandbabies. And I'll make sure we're on time here. We're good. And we'll wrap this up in the next 10 minutes. And my precious Liliana's 2.5 years old. Last year, my son calls me, Dad, Liliana's been crying for 4 days straight in her sleep. And I said, we're going to pray in Jesus' name right now, that God break that, but then you're going to put that patch on her. And they did. And within 5 minutes, she stopped crying. Next day, she is at the therapist. And they're like, what's with Liliana? Why all of a sudden she focused? Because level 3 on the scale of autism is nonverbal, non-focus. And as a granddad, what broke my heart was when Liliana would come to me, but she wouldn't come to me. I'd pick her up and look at her, but she wouldn't look at me, wouldn't acknowledge me, nor hug me. Was there. Heartbreaking. Because as a granddad, when you have your grandbabies come to you and they say, G Dad or Granddad, and they get on your lap and smile, there isn't anything more precious in life. I'm telling you, nothing. But then you have one who can't even do that. Well, guess what now Liliana does? She can look at me. She'll smile. She's still on the spectrum. She'll hug me. She said, Mom, anytime now we get this patch on a child on the spectrum, the first thing parents tell us is, oh, they're focused. They're more calmed down. Recently, we had a 14-year-old. Never slept, always up through the night, always up. And that would be hard on a parent. As a parent, I'm thinking that must have been hard. Well, guess what now? Just a matter of weeks in, sleeps through the night. So amazing. Do you have any family or friends whose children on the spectrum? But just think about yourself. Would you like to turn your own dormant stem cells, the ones in your brain, your bones, your skin, eyes, all throughout, would you like to have them turn back on? To get access to your more youthful state, and once again, in 90 days, I tell everybody at a minimum, you want to wear it 90 days. In 9 days, your collagen is going to refresh, skin, hair, nails. Remember, in 8 weeks, your cardiovascular is going to get younger. In 4 to 6 weeks, the left, right, lower brain is going to bounce. And then fourthly, the anomalies of joint pain, back pain, whatever pain, that's going to dissipate away also in that 90 days. So at a minimum, you want to wear it for 90 days. 97% of those who wear this patch worldwide see results within that 9-day time frame. I'd say 70% within several days or several weeks, and 1 in 5 to 1 in 10, they're usually telling me something the next morning. Ken, I slept better. I had this pain go away or something, And so it's a blessing. It's a blessing of hope. But what also is amazing is being part of a team that can help you win on a financial basis while you stay focused on doing the most important things. And that's what we want to help you do. So let me just go through a couple other slides here real quickly. Once again, we're part of a team. This is a team. Think about McDonald's has teenagers run a multi-million-dollar business because they follow a system. Well, this is a team, create a system. You go to thisisateam.com. It's got that system on there we follow. And so you're part of a team where we're all doing and saying the same thing, and we're all volunteering. Like no one is telling us what to do. We have no quotas to make or none of that. We're just all willingly helping each other win. And so it's amazing to be part of a group of people who have high integrity, who love people and have a vision to be able to get more done in life. And we're all running together to be able to get more out of what this opportunity can do for others and for us in this life. And so, where are you at? What are you seeing? What are you sensing right now that you'd like to be able to do for you? What's the chance? What is the what if? What if this could do it for me? Right? When we want to be able to partner with you in that what if. Well, here's another powerful thing is that we have two of these major conventions a year. They're very short, Friday night, all day Saturday, and then there's a church service. You want to attend that afterwards. And it's meant for busy people. And so, but it is crazy how awesome it is because you don't get all excited and then get deflated afterwards. You actually get empowered and enrolling more people when you come out of this. And so we had, when our first meeting, we had like 60 people come to this thing, and our paycheck went from 1,000 a week to 1,000 a day in a matter of just a few months because of this event. And there was another event. Well, guess what? Our paycheck jumped again. It's the smartest way to build a business is to collectively get people to come with you to an event. Well, what is this event? This is August 8th. It's a Friday night in Orlando. And so you want to attend this if you're going to partner with us and build this business, and you want to get as many friends that are now with you in this business along with you to attend. Now, the first hotel is already sold out. Second one's filling up. And so it's amazing how quickly this is going. And you can go to thisisatconvention.com to see more on that. And so we have Saturday, by the way, we have Saturday trainings. They're phenomenal. Every Saturday, 1 p.m. They're recorded if you can't make it, but they're spectacular. We have also our leaders. They're in Dallas and Houston and West Palm Beach and Orlando. Here you see on the 27th, 28th of March, and then on April 2nd and 3rd. And we have this on-the-go podcast. These are all support tools. This is all to get the burden off you and me. We can plug people in, to these events. And the events, let me back up real quick here. This is where you want to invite new people who don't know anything about the patch. You want to invite them to see what we're seeing tonight, but in person. And so, and how this thing works is we have these Zooms that go on basically every night and every day of the week, practically, except for Sundays. And so it makes it easy for you to get your family and friends to take a look. We have 2 on a Monday night. We've got 2 on Tuesday. I do one also on Tuesday. We've got Wednesday, 8 p.m. We have Thursday for Spanish. We have Friday at noon, and then there's other private Zooms going on that I do as well and other leaders do. So there's plenty of opportunity for you in your busy life to be able to plug people in to take a look and let that heavy lifting be done then for you there. So this is where we're at this point. What would you like to do going back to this page here? Please get back with the friend who invited you tonight and let them know. Are you a 3? You're looking to do more research? Are you a 2? Now you want to get some packs for you and your family. Which pack fits best for you? Or you're 1. You want to hit the go button on this rewarding comp plan that is just over the moon. We're over the moon with it, and such a blessing. And where do you see yourself getting started? We'll get back with the person who invited you tonight. And it's been an honor for me to have shared this amazing, miraculous opportunity with you. And hopefully we'll see you partner with us and teaming up with us to bring hope to the world by getting this patch on people you love and care about and people we don't even know, and then getting rewarded financially in such a beautiful way for doing so. Well, thank you. And once again, God bless you and have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody.